Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Job, the 41st chapter. And here the Lord basically speaks on the power, the might, and the features of Leviathan, okay? Which is a very fearsome creature, as he continues to magnify his power and show Job truly why it is that he is the Most High. So this is Job 41:1. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? It says here, can you catch Leviathan with a hook, or put a noose around its jaw? Canst thou put an hook inside his nose, or into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn? Basically, like, can you catch him like you usually would any other animal? Can you tie it with a rope through the nose, or pierce its jaw with a spike? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? So will it beg you for mercy, or implore you for pity? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? You're going to domesticate Leviathan? Will it agree to work for you, to be your slave for life? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird, or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Can you make it a pet like a bird, or give it to your little girls to play with? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Will merchants try to buy it or sell it in their shops? These are all rhetorical questions, because there ain't no way you're gonna be able to even shit. If the Lord was to wake up Leviathan out the ocean, or wherever he got him, he was likely in the body of water in the ocean. Yeah, that's where you see Godzilla, right? Those movies. Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Will its hide be hurt by spears, or its head by a harpoon? Lay thine hand upon him. Remember the battle, do no more. It says here, if you lay a hand on it, you will certainly remember the battle that follows. You won't try that again. Yeah, you're not going to try to mess with Leviathan, man. Behold, the hope of, and keep in mind, this is a creature, like, there are creatures that the Most High doesn't even boast about, right? And they're still dangerous. You got people today that fear ants. You got people that see a rat or a roach and they're actually terrified, okay? Or a hamster. And imagine a hamster compared to a lion or a tiger. People see a dog and they're afraid. The Most High is boasting about Leviathan. Like, he's actually boasting about this creature. He's like, this is, you don't even know. So how fearful do you think, like, how scary do you think Leviathan actually is if the Lord is speaking about him this way? You're afraid of a creature that the Lord doesn't even, look at as anything. How much more for a creature where the Lord speaks like this about? So it says here, behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? No, it is useless to try and capture it. The hunter who attempts it will be knocked down, even just at his sight, just seeing him. No one is so fierce that dares stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? So nobody is bold enough to go and disturb Leviathan. And I created Leviathan, right? That's what the Lord is saying. So how much less to come and stand before me? Leviathan is my plaything. He's my little pet. Oh boy. Who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. Right? So who has given me anything that I need to pay back? Everything under heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. I want to emphasize Leviathan's limbs and its enormous strength and graceful forms. I want you to understand. I want you to really understand what you're going up against here. Who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with his double bridle? Who can strip off its hide, and who can penetrate its double layer of armor? When you start to hear the Lord speak about the body of an animal as armor, you you just stop. And Job tried. He said, I'm gonna stop. I put my hand on my mind. I ain't saying shit no more. Lord said, nope, you still gonna hear it. Verse 14, who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. Who could pry open its jaws? For its teeth are terrible. And he breathes fire. Well, as the Lord is going to go on to say, his scales are his pride, shut up together with a closed seal. Its scales are like rows of shields, tightly sealed together. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. Imagine that. Imagine that. Like, if you've ever seen a door, one of those doors in them secret labs underwater, that like it seals shut and is like airtight. The Lord is saying here the scales of Leviathan's body they get so tightly close packed that it becomes airtight. Even air can't make it through. They are joined one to another. They stick together. They cannot be sundered, right? Which is to be broken through. By his neezing or sneezing, a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. When it sneezes, it flashes light. Its eyes are like the red of dawn. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. That's what you call fire breathing. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of a seething pot or cauldron. Verse 20 in the NLT, smoke streams from his nostrils like stream from a pot heated over burning rushes. His breath kindles coals, means to light it up. And a flame goeth out of his mouth. That's shooting fire out of his mouth. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The tremendous strength in Leviathan's neck strikes terror wherever it goes. The flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved. Its flesh is hard and firm and cannot be penetrated. His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. Damn. This the nether millstone is like, when you have millstone, you have the top part and the bottom part. And millstones are very, very hard stones. Okay, don't let that drop on your head. You're dead. When he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breakings, they purify themselves. Verse 25, when it rises, the mighty are afraid, gripped by terror. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold, the spear, the dart, nor the habergeon. No sword can stop it, no spear, dart, or javelin. He esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. Iron is nothing but straw to that creature, and bronze is like rotten wood. You know how rotten wood, you can even break it with your bare hands. It says this is how iron and brass and iron, which are extremely hard, that's what it is like to him. The arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him to stubble. Arrows cannot make it flee. Stones shot from a sling are like bits of grass. Darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. Clubs are like a blade of grass. It laughs at the swish of javelins. You're going to bring a spear to try and take down Leviathan. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp appointed things upon the mire. And I'll read this part actually in the NKJV. It says, his undersides are like sharp potsherds. He spreads pointed marks in the mire, which is like the mud, as he moves. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. It says here, Leviathan makes the water to boil with its commotion. It stirs the depths like a pot of ointment. He maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary. The water glistens in its wake, making the sea look white. When If you were to see like a boat going through water very fast, or anything just like that just like ruffles up water, you'll see white. Some parts of it look white. Or if water's boiling, and it's just like really bubbling. I'm talking about like a large body of water here. That's the effect that it's saying here upon Leviathan's movements. Verse 33, upon earth there is not his like, who is made without fear. Nothing on earth is its equal, no other creature so fearless. He beholdeth all things. He is king over all the children of pride. Of all the creatures, it is the proudest. It is the king of beasts. My goodness. And that brings us to the end of the book of Job, the 41st chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.